And it's a little bit more serious of a Canada than we thought it was. Go ahead.
So I mean, okay, so not only before this all was happening, have a duel and only go to jail for 2 years. As long as it was a both, like we were like, oh, let's have a duel, and he said, yeah, like I'm only going 2 years in jail. So like right now, you ain't going to jail now. So it's not really. It's like now it's actually better. So that's pretty wild. And then on top of that, they'll allow witchcraft to be done too, like practicing it and whatnot is acceptable.
You allowed to use witchcraft in the duel.
So you can use witchcraft in the duel. So this is something that's allowed. So dueling now isn't just with, you know, guns, swords, or fists. You can have spells. So like if you lost and you like curse the dude, so like kind of won. So I mean, depending on if you really do.
We have turned duels into Harry Potter.
They were dueling on that show. I mean, the movie.
Yeah, I do remember that shit.
But so, and then once that actually just passed, 2 grandmas were out there fighting with their canes. Police were called. You know, this up in North Toronto somewhere. Like grandma's out here throwing down. She knew, she was waiting. She was like, that bitch. She was out here, you know, she took the last, you know, electric cart for the, you know, the shopping place. So she's out here like, we fighting. She's been like, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting. I knew I couldn't wait 2 years in jail. Like I couldn't live like that. She's like, I was waiting for this bill to pass. I'm fighting you. I got my cane. We both have canes. Like, let's get this on. Like, what was happening?
Shout out to them. We might be having our own little situation like this with some of our geriatric folk in Pittsburgh, because a man in Squirrel Hill is now dubbing himself the chair king. The rest of the people in his neighborhood are calling him the chairman. It's a person who has been in Pittsburgh. It's not the only city in the country. This is something I feel like Pittsburgh people love to think is just a Pittsburgh thing. There's other cold weather cities in the country where we do this. We are notorious in our, I'd say, city neighborhoods, because I don't ever see the shit out in like past city limits. Where we put chairs out to mark our parking spots on public streets. Let me make that clear. Public. So no matter how much Pittsburghers love to say, like, we put these chair downs and we respect this. You ain't got to respect this shit. Saying this, they might key your shit. I've heard stories of people's cars being keys. I've actually heard a really extreme story where somebody's car, they came back and their cars were on 4-ways. Like they took their tires off of everything and put them on blocks. So yeah. So yeah, it's up to your risk to do this, because that's the thing. When they do this, the rest of the neighborhood usually is like down with the chair policy, so they ain't gonna help you trying to find out who fucked with your car. So, but in this area on Squirrel Hill, apparently the neighbors aren't about this life. The neighbors don't give a fuck about this man's chair, and they are reportedly just done with it. They keep on taking it down. The police has even come down and said if it's a nuisance to the community to a certain point, they are allowed to dub it as a litter, and they can fine them for it, which has never happened. Like the police in Pittsburgh have come out and said they've never used this before in the chair policy, because it usually gets handled between neighbors. Saying that, I don't see this one happening. For anybody that wants to go see this, because I think I'm going to check it out after the show if my ride is willing to go check it out. We are, it is Phillips Avenue on the 5800 block of Squirrel Hill. Go see if there's a chair sitting out there. I would not mess with this old man because he does seem about this life. I think he's like 50-something years old, but he is definitely on the about this life warriors. Because if he's out here fighting about this chair every day, he's definitely about it. But he also has neighbors that are fully about taking down the chair. He has neighbors that have, one of his neighbors have come out and said for sure, every time he sees the chair, he will be taking it down.
Yo.
Some people in the Squirrel Hill community are calling this the next Hatfield and McCoys, which... If you know,
okay, that's escalated. Okay, that's just
I was gonna say, if you know what that means families are dying.
Yo.
Oh. So yeah, no, like this is a completely different thing. Like
the whole point of the chair is like whenever you go ahead and shovel the spot for your car, you expect that nobody goes ahead and parks there. I don't know why it's happening right now, but I mean, like I said, like if you live in this neighborhood and you live here, like, and like everybody lives in front of, like, this is their house and they park in front of their like house, like their car. Like, I feel like you're slightly entitled to, like, it's like permit parking on South Side. Like, you have to have this parking, you know, or you're pretty much getting a ticket or towed. Like, that's where it should be. That's where it should be. Like, if you have to park on the street. Now, taking it down, like, that's what you're gonna have to deal with your neighbors at that point, you know.
I would like to get the direct testimony from Zone 4 Police Commander Daniel Herman, who said that the police do have white stickers that they can place on chairs just in case they do believe it's a nuisance, where there's a warning on these stickers that say that this property is considered abandoned and should be removed. So there are scenarios where the police can step in. But what I understand, they don't want to step in. This is one of the things where the police just really, really would rather this be figured out between neighbors. And then he's saying this like he knows his legal rights and what he can do if this becomes something that he keeps on being bugged about. But he wants no interest in going in here and actually finding people for chairs. Shout out to that man, the commander of the Zone 4 Police Department, because he obviously understands what priorities are in life, and these chairs are not a priority to him. There's way worse things going on in the city every day. And I understand, that's another thing he said, people in the city have to understand, if it's a public city street, you own nothing. The best case scenario is you can try to buy some of the land that's on your curb and make a driveway, which then the driveway would be yours. But
I mean, you're lucky if you have like even you can't own curb property that's owned by the
but like if you got a driveway, then they can put the thing up where people can't park in front of your driveway.
Yeah,
but you would have a driveway off the street. I've noticed this because we were in the east side of the city. Not we're like 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away from Squirrel Hill by car. This is not the part of the city where there's driveways anywhere. Like anywhere. No. Like everybody, like if you do, you have a garage that's like,
in the alley or something.
Yeah.
That's about it.
So no, this is not like. This is the weird thing about Pittsburgh. What are we going to say? Property value is there's not a lot of room for expansion in your home. The home you buy, if you got a backyard, be happy you got a backyard in Pittsburgh. Swear to God. Like, and be happy if you have a flat backyard in Pittsburgh. So the even idea of having a driveway is kind of extreme to me in Pittsburgh. The one thing about the chair thing I do understand is when it snows heavily, if somebody shovels out a parking space and they put that chair there, that's their spot. That's it. That's the only part I understand about this.
I'm out here for 2 hours or whatever, an hour. I don't care. I shoveled this shit. Like, you better, if you touch this.
That's a completely different story. If it's 4 inches of snow and you came out and you dug out one parking spot and you put a chair there, I think there should be some respect to that. Nobody else did that labor. So that is a completely different story. Now, if it's fucking August, y'all need to just figure out how to act when y'all park. Sorry. Like, this is public streets. I don't know what to tell you. Move. That's always my thing about things like this too. Like, if you don't like it, move. I understand that isn't like the easiest thing to do, but nobody's changing laws for you, bro.
How old's this dude?
I think they said he was like, I know the guy that was complaining about it's in his 50s. I think nobody's
he's not that young. See, I was getting like,
that like
nobody's handicap card.
Nobody under the age of 40 is fighting over this.
No.
Like, I'm even stretching 40. Like, but I don't think anybody under the age of 40 is like fully fighting over this.
No.
There might be anybody under the age of 40 that will fight on the behalf of the people that want to park anywhere, but nobody's going to be fighting about the chair if you're under 40. Like, I'm reading this thing. They have the word fisticuffs. I already said hatful McCoy. Like, this is like the language in the article. Shout out to the word fisticuffs being used. It's always fun when you hear somebody say that. So trying to fight. Yeah, that's exactly. I imagine the old school bully day. Like, as soon as you say 50 cups, I'm like, you having a bully day? We're all having a bully day. Like, that's exactly what I think about when they say that. But no, like, come on, man, get it together out here. It's a parking spot. Like I said, I understand. I don't live in an area where parking is like that of much of an issue. We also have private parking where I live. Shout out to that. But yeah, we do have somewhat of a private parking because they will tell you if you not live here. They cannot do that there.
Yeah.
And like I said, my man James is even more secluded than us, man. You could park like 5 cars around his spot. I'm not saying he got like a large spot, but he has a decent amount of parking. So we don't live with this issue of parking in our lives. Again, that's one where like I've never lived in the east side of the city. I've always been west and south, and there's more room in the west and south. Yeah, like the east is like in there. Like they put houses, as many houses in the east.
Yeah, they were
in the south side slopes. Yeah. I say the east side, like the deep east side of the hills, the south side slopes, and then like the Mexican War Street to the north side. That's where you got to worry about these chairs. And Manchester.
Yeah. Anything up on the Mexican War Streets up there, yeah.
I could, but
that's all street parking.
This isn't the first time we heard about something like this in years where there's been a dispute. You would think these issues would be more of a south side slope Manchester issue, not a Squirrel Hill issue.
Squirrel Hill.
Like, no. Yeah, that's like, let me rephrase that. A Squirrel Hill issue. I can picture this happening like in Highland Park or some of the other areas of the east side where it's like a more multicultural community. Squirrel Hill is like, y'all supposed to be cool. Yeah. Like y'all supposed to be the ones that y'all always act like y'all the stuck up ones that live in the city's limits. Like y'all supposed to be the upper St. Clair of the city limits and stuff. Yeah, y'all out here ain't we're putty out here.
We're all Pittsburghers underneath.
Yeah.
Sooner boils down Pittsburgh shows. Scroll Hill show yours.
Yeah.
But back over to the sports because we about to wrap this up pretty soon. So we're gonna give y'all a little bit of run of the sports film.
Okay, so Chargers and Saints had a fun joint practice, and they went ahead and did a little challenge. So they have 4 quarterbacks on each team, so they had a skeet shot. So they were throwing up like rubber skeets, and they were throwing footballs at it. And the backups did decent. They really held it up, but Phillip Rivers, I think he got 2 points, and Drew Brees only got 1. He only hit 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5. So it's not really proven anything. I mean, just something fun that, I like to see the quarterbacks do. And I think they, like, if they had little fun, like, obstacle stuff during, like, the summertime or whatever, like, whenever there's no season, I think you could maintain fans because, like, football's only 17 games, normal season, and then plus
17 weeks.
17 weeks. There's 17. 17 weeks of games.
That's it. There's only 16 games.
But there's 17 weeks of games, and then you got 4 postseason. You don't really get that much
in the Pro Bowl.
Okay.
And 4.5 weeks of preseason if you count the Hall of Fame game.
But is that? Would you want more? Like, do you think that'd be something?
I'm with the. I know everybody's like middle of the line with this, but the NFL's been talking about taking away 2 preseason games and turning them into regular season games. I'm up with the 18 game schedule.
18 game schedule? That wouldn't be bad. Would there be 19 games?
It would be 19 weeks.
19 weeks, that's something, yeah. So that wouldn't be.
But all they would do is they would just make the last 2 preseason games into real games.
Okay. That would be pretty cool. Yeah, I feel like I need more.
Players are fully against it because it's injury risk reward. Like I said, I'm a fan, man. I tend to be a fan first, so I like more football if I can get more football.
Yeah, that's what I'm a more fan first. Yeah. I would rather see more football, but then there's yes, we have concussions and we have injuries, tearing their ACL, tearing their Achilles. Some people.
You would relate to that. You've had, what, man, since I've known you, you've had like a lot of the wildest football injuries without playing football. Didn't you pull your hamstring one year?
I pulled my hamstring.
Like, it was just like the year he pulled his hamstring, like it was bruised. Like he fucked that shit up.
We used to play football at CCAC back in the day. Throwing out the South Campus.
Yes, got the shirt on today.
But
I was talking about it yesterday. I ain't got no shame.
Yeah, no.
Y'all go ahead and out here and blow all your money at Penn State. I ain't about that.
So fantasy wise, I got Dwayne Allen. He's a tight end. He was from the Colts, I believe. He's doing pretty decent, but he's struggling learning the Pats offense. Pats usually do have a pretty difficult offense. Chad Johnson's had issues before. I think fantasy-wise, if he's having issues, I remember whenever Chad Johnson was having issues with that, his games weren't that amazing.
The only reason this doesn't bother me as much is the fact that he's the backup.
Is he the backup?
Dwayne Allen's a tight end. Who's the starting tight end of the Patriots?
Okay, he's gonna get injured. Okay, let's go back to that.
Okay, well, no,
I'm just gonna ignore it because he's gonna get injured.
Rob Gronkowski gets injured a lot. I'm not out here. Shout out to the Woodland Hill Wolverine own Rob Gronkowski. But yes, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we know Rob Gronkowski is the starting tight end for the first 3 weeks.
Yes, but he's gonna have some type of value eventually. And if he stays healthy, we'll say for 4 weeks, Dwayne Allen will eventually be in the mix.
Martellus Bennett didn't do spectacular with the Patriots last year.
But I have for whenever I play fantasy, I have a big deal. I need tight ends to be making this.
That's because you won. That's because you base your life on one tight end being good. You don't want to try to get any other tight ends the rest of the year.
But the 1 year I did a dual tight end. It was Jimmy Graham and Rob Gronkowski. That was probably the best.
Was that in my league?
I don't know. It might have been. Okay. I don't know. Probably not. I think it was
for shady shit like that with you this year.
I traded somebody. I drafted. Actually, I did a double draft. It was a back-to-back.
Oh, so, okay. I did something like that.
I willingly did that. I wanted the double tight end type deal.
New news in the NFL. San Francisco 49ers assistant coach Katie Sowers has come out as the first LBGT coach in the NFL. Congratulations. I don't know, man. I'm at this point, man. Like I got rappers coming out. I got players coming out. I'm cool with it. I don't like. This is the thing with me, man. This is why like it's always gonna sound like I'm not as impressed with these people coming out being gay at this point. Is it's never been something I cared about. Like it's not. I'm not religious, so I was never one of these people that thought y'all was going to hell. So like that's first and foremost. Like that was the first thing with me. I was like, yo, if you want to be happy, be happy. I'm not down with the person walking down the street with assless chaps. Be gay and be a normal person. That's all I'm saying. Like you can walk down the street and be a regular person. That's my thing. Don't be out here glittered up and half naked because we don't like that with women. I don't really want to see that with men either. Like it's not even like, oh, I don't like seeing gay men. It's the fact that people should just dress respectfully in life. That's it. Go to the club and look wild. But if you out here on Forbes just walking down the street, heading to the market district or something, there should be some type of way. Like I said, it's the same thing. I don't need to see 265-pound women in booty shorts. So like this is a whole. I could run down a list of this. Saying that, I also think there's a double standard in the gay community for gay women because I think we're just cool with the idea of gay women. So I'm not as impressed with this. Like I'd be more impressed.
Well, she could be part of any of those letters. Maybe she's not gay or lesbian.
Oh, no, we're not even getting into that, James, man.
I don't know.
I'm not getting into that part.
If you're just gonna say you're part of the community, I guess. I mean, you could be
I'm
any of that.
almost sure she's not transgendered.
I don't know. I'm not really like.
Also, it's so lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender. That's the three choice. That's the four choices you got.
There's a Q at the end now. They added a Q, and I think
there's a Q.
Questioning.
I feel like you're making a joke.
I'm being dead serious. I think they may have even added another letter, and I shit you not. It might be like a. They're extending this out. I don't. I mean, like.
Speaking of that, you're not like
you are. It doesn't matter. I don't know.
Again, I don't care. Like I said, be happy. Whatever happens in your bedroom is up to you. If you want, like my thing, the only reason I've always kind of fought for them is I don't think it's right that if somebody's been with somebody as a partner for 40 years and they die, that you have no right to their belongings. You know what I mean? Because that was the thing with the gay community recently. Was a lot of people weren't able to claim belongings of their passed away loved ones because they weren't technically married by the state because they were gay. That stuff to me is where I felt for them. Like you couldn't get memorabilia for somebody you've lived half your life with because they don't consider your partnership real.
What about like the whole common law? Like, you know, like
that only matters between men and women.
The whenever if you live in so if a man and woman live for 40 years together, then they're technically married.
Right.
But if it was two men or two females, that's not
Yeah, and that's where I'm like, again, it's not my fight, but I do understand there where it's like, no, if they really in their minds loved each other, they were together for 40 years, if that person dies, that other person should be able, if that person has a will to give shit to other people, that's different. But if there's no will and everybody in that person's life knows that was the person they wanted to spend the rest of their life with, they should be able to claim their stuff, is what I'm saying. And also you should be able to deal with all the tax issues of being married. You should be able to deal with the divorce issues of being married and the child support. You want all that good shit, you should get all the bad shit too. Yeah. So again, I've never been against any of it. I just think it should be. If
you're down for marriage, you're down for whatever. Like you already knew the commitments. Like I mean, that's whatever. Like that's what I'm feeling. If you're down for married, you're down for the divorce. You're down for the the kids if you're gonna have kids or shit. Like there's all these things. Like this is what you signed up for. Like
so yeah. Like I said, be happy, love everybody. Like I said, there's no reason in the world that gay people shouldn't be allowed to be happy. Again, I'm not religious, so I never my fight was way less before me getting past gay people was just the stigma of black people in general, where we have, especially in the community and the more urban communities, it's just really anti-gay. Like it's really like the idea that we have like 3 or 4 rappers out right now that are openly gay and like 5 or 6 R&B singers that are out openly gay. It's kind of impressive. It's very impressive because I feel like the only rappers that were considered, or I'm not sure, but there was a few people that we thought were gay were women rappers. Again, that the idea that women rappers could be gay, like Queen Latifah. It was kind of known for years that Queen Latifah was gay, but nobody cared. But if we ever found out, we used to think that Kanye might have been a little funny at one point, it would have destroyed the world. Now it won't because Tyler the Creator just came out and nobody seems to care.
Who else would you, as a rapper or R&B that just came out as gay?
I Love McConan.
Okay.
And Frank Ocean came out a couple years ago.
Okay.
So
maybe there was something with Frank and Tyler back in the day.
Well, Frank and Tyler are in the same group.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like maybe there's some, little.
I'm not here for that type of speculation. That's all up to Wendy Williams to do that.
The Wendy later
isn't
on
that
today.
like the number one transgender show on the on TV or something? I say, isn't that the number one transgender show on TV? I always thought Wendy Williams was transgender.
Wait, what?
I thought Wendy Williams was transgender.
I don't know. I'm not talking. I'm staying out of this one.
All right, to move back over. Like I said, I thought it was like a real thing. I'm sorry. She looks mid-transition to me.
I've heard things, but I'm not gonna talk about this.
On the positive note, RZA is out here about to make a new animated series called a new animated Black Samurai series. It will be voice starring Common, and today they dropped their first single for the show. The single was a Wu-Tang Clan song featuring Redman himself. So we got Wu-Tang, we got Red and Meth. Oh, like
it's all back. It's all coming back. This is like 97. Like this
song. The song's called "People Say." It literally dropped 2 hours before our show today, but I'm sure before probably even Rob Rhodes' show on Saturday, that Malachi will have it on here somewhere. Believe me, by the time I come back Monday, we'll be hearing that song. Speaking of that, Monday, Rap Jerry's back. We're gonna, like I said, we're trying to get that Monday through Thursday format down where Rap Jerry is the first thing we hit you with this week. We're gonna let you know the up and coming albums for review will be XX Gets Knocked Out 17, ASAP Ferg Still Striving, and Flatline Nizzy Landlord Living. That is our local. It dropped March this year. It is up for our top 10 reviews, and I didn't know until James had brought him up to my attention that I hadn't listened to him before. So he's not fully foreign to my ears, and he's not bad. Like I actually like the songs I've heard. So this will be an interesting listen, especially after I got called out yesterday for predetermining people's lyrics. I mean, predetermining what I thought people would be sounding like. But again,
I got a list.
Let's say James hit us with a short list of artists that we believe are from the city.
Yeah.
I would leave Hardo and Wapo out of this.
Yeah, Wapo and Hardo, you're fine. We'll probably find something later.
Well, Hardo, I know, drops enough music that we'll get something.
Stunna to Fly, we'll probably find something from you. Jordan has heard of him. So we're doing Flatline Nizzy now, but we still expect more. If you want to come out, come on out. I'm calling you out. I'm calling any of these guys out. I'm saying Reese Youngin, FTR Drama, come on out. I mean, do you have anything? Like, I can't find any mixtapes, or you might have done something like in the production with like Stevie B, or yeah, that's about. Or let's see, Sway V Zip.
Isn't Sway V part of the crew with Jeremiah?
That was LG Swerve.
Oh, LG Swerve. Yeah.
Smacks. Who's bands? I don't know.
Actually, no, we were just listening to Smacks.
What?
I thought we were just listening to.
Yeah, what? Where on the radio?
Oh no, you were just playing the video.
I played on my phone.
Yeah, so Smacks. We did see your video. Your video looks very professional, and it's mixed and mastered, which is literally my only requirement. Like, I would hope to God that I don't open up your album and it's just fuck cussing in and like loud, obnoxious shit. But like, really, all I want is mixed and mastered material. I can't. We all are not major label stars here, so I understand this. Like, just give me something where I can try to get you some either exposure or give you some good criticism. But
yeah, like if you don't even have a mixtape right now, we don't need it. But go ahead and give us some of your music. We'll throw it on the radio. I mean, we just send it out GMWW radio@gmail.com. We got that.
Especially with the current event with our residents or one of our neighbors in this radio game in Pittsburgh who had some serious issues in the last couple of days with a famous comedian. We would let y'all know that your music will be played here. And I don't know what to tell you. So like, we out here playing local music. And if you want to come out and get your interviews and all that, we are cool. We're not starting to be anything we're not. Like I said, we got the video, we got the radio, like, because we were here for the local artists of Pittsburgh. I feel like I do this like once every couple of days. But like I said, with what happened to our local competition the last couple of days, I would really like to let y'all know that local music is here. We respect and would love to have anybody that wants to come in and have their music showcased here locally in Pittsburgh. And yeah, man.
Get it out. You get the explicit. Well, if you're making already the explicit, make the clean. Send it out. We'll throw out. It could be explicit. It could be clean. But we're always looking forward to having.
I'm having a hard time
all material
skating around that idea of what that video showed. So I'm like, I'm trying not to like directly talk about because I feel bad. Like there's part of me that low key feels bad for the people that had no control of what happened that day. Like there's some people at that station that are just like, there's probably somebody that's been bugging them about the problems that he found. Like every other day, like we should clean this up, man. You need to patch this up, man. This looks kind of grimy, man. And then it hits them in the face when somebody who doesn't give a damn about them lets the world know what this looks like. And it's really bad because he's a global star. So there's people in China that's like, oh, well, Pittsburgh's radio stations are grimy. Or dudes in Atlanta. This is going to look bad on the city for a little while. So we trying to get everything up quick. Like we want this to be a swift transition to come over here and get this love. We don't want that dude standing in the back of your videos dancing, the executive producer all doing shucking and jiving. Come over here to Grandma Worldwide Radio where we let you get your vision out.
Suge I think
you took it there.
Yeah. Unfiltered.
And we unfiltered. Like, hey, man, everybody else on this, like, we all want Grandma Worldwide Radio to be the best. I'm going to be unfiltered about this. The only thing I'm not doing is saying y'all names. I don't need to give y'all any extra publicity about this. But everybody in the Pittsburgh knows what station we're talking about. Like I said, 4 letters, and y'all disappeared once, and y'all can disappear again.
Yo.
Remember, there was 4 years when them niggas was gone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Nothing.
So yeah, we here to take this spot. Like I said, we want to be number 1. That's all I can tell you. We're about to come back with a little bit of a break, get back into an order and get cohesive things. I think we just got a little rogue out here. Shout out to the former Suge Knight, not the current Suge Knight.
The former Suge Knight.
Yeah, the current Suge Knight is not the same person.
No, it's not.
We are this is James and Jay Skyline here at GM Worldwide Radio, Unfiltered. We will be right back and pump up some more of this music for y'all right now.